In this third part of my Japan video series, we traveled from Aomori, the most northern prefecture of Japan's main island, to Sapporo, the capital city of Hokkaido, Japan's northern island. The whole route can be completed by train thanks to the Seikan Tunnel, which runs beneath the Suguru Strait and connects Hokkaido with Aomori via Shinkansen. There are incredible views of the mountains as you take the train north. The weather changes drastically as you go further. This is before the tunnel, and this is after, probably only a 15-minute time difference. And this is probably 15 minutes later. There's lots more snow in Hokkaido than on Honshu, the main island. We stayed at an Airbnb about a 15-minute walk west of Sapporo Station. It had a kitchen so I could do some grocery shopping and cooking, which was nice. After settling in, we decided to go out for some groceries. My mother was almost taken by the incredibly harsh terrain. Sorry for laughing, Diane. I kinda had to rush through the grocery store because it was already dinner time, but I couldn't believe that the produce in Japan's northern island, where it has to be imported, is still cheaper than where I live in Canada. We bought lots of pickles, tofu, and made beef and broccoli with rice. Our reservation was at 11:30, right when it opened. Okay, I'm excited. It's called Genghis Khan BBQ because it's shaped like a Mongol soldier's helmet. It was all-you-can-eat lamb, chicken, pork, and vegetables for $32 Canadian, which was an incredible deal in my opinion. It also came with all-you-can-drink beer for $15 Canadian, which was also incredible. And I'm not sure what vaunted draft beer is, but once I tried Sapporo Classic, I definitely vaunted more draft beer. The chicken and pork were marinated in a sweet soy sauce. And for vegetables, there was onion, cabbage, bean sprouts, and pumpkin, all unlimited. Everything was delicious, and this was reasonably priced for being such a tourist spot. All the lamb was from Hokkaido, and it was tender and delicious. The barbecue paired incredibly well with Sapporo Classic, a beer only sold in Hokkaido. It had a lighter, crisper flavor than regular Sapporo. The restaurant was packed by the time we were leaving. This was a 10 out of 10 experience to me. I highly recommend coming here. The food is delicious, the beer is amazing, and the price is very reasonable. The whole beer museum is also fun to walk around, and there are lots of shops. It's definitely worth the visit if you're here in Sapporo. We walked to the Sapporo Snow Festival. There are 3 different locations. This one at Odori Park is the largest and has all the snow sculptures. This was the day before the festival was officially open, so all the stalls were still closed, unfortunately. We stopped for lunch at this little ramen shop. It was called Till the Rising Sun and served miso ramen, a specialty of Sapporo that I really wanted to try. It only had 6 seats and you ordered from a vending machine. There was miso ramen, salt ramen, and spicy versions of both. It was a very small but very nice ramen shop. I ordered the spicy miso ramen, which came with egg, pork, and marinated bamboo shoots, which were delicious. There were also lots of bean sprouts underneath, which added a very nice texture contrast with the curly noodles. The pork was extremely tender, and the broth was rich with pork and miso flavor. We saw some of the ice sculptures at the Susukino site on the way back home. This snow house looked pretty cool and had a lot of detail, but at night it transformed into one of the coolest things I've ever seen, both visually and temperature-wise. For lunch we decided to eat at the Snow Festival stalls. It's always good to start off with a little bit of hot sake, and I obviously had to try this so-called shot of tequila as well. Scallops are everywhere in Hokkaido, and their quality is said to be the best in the world. This freshly grilled squid, which was coated in a caramelized sweet soy sauce, was tender and delicious. I also tried this seafood yakisoba. The seafood noodles and ginger were good, but the mayo made it way too heavy for me. These were everywhere, so I decided to try one, and it tasted exactly like how you would imagine a chocolate-covered banana with sprinkles to taste. The freshly roasted chestnuts were probably the best thing I ate at the festival. They were so sweet and had such a great smoky flavor. There were lots of different food vendors throughout the park, all offering different items. I couldn't bring myself to try the shirako, or cod sperm, which is apparently a delicacy. But this fried salmon was delicious, sweet, salty, and crispy. The end of the park was where teams from all over the world were competing to make the best snow sculpture. After a complete walk through the festival, we went home for a bit. This was the most disappointing snack I've ever tried in my life. Not crispy, no shrimp flavor, and pretty greasy. After a few hours, we went back out for dinner. It's not as cold as Canada, but there's a lot more snow here. The restaurant could seat about 16 people and was run by one man doing the cooking and one woman doing the serving. There was no English menu here, but I'm very grateful that I live in the era of Google Translate. There was lots of sushi that I had no idea what they were, and some I hoped were translation errors. After using modern technology to decipher this menu, I ordered a nigiri set. A complimentary butter-baked fish with mushroom appetizer came out first and was delicious. The fish was very soft and delicate with a mild flavor, and it tasted really good with the combination of butter and soy sauce. This was the set I received. It had tuna, sea bream, salmon, snow crab, clam, scallop, sweet shrimp, sea urchin, salmon roe, and flying fish roe. I ate the 3 pieces of fish sushi first, and they were all delicious, but they're not as exciting or unique as these other ones. All the seafood had more flavor and a much more pleasant texture than I've had before. It's like everything has a higher fat content, and as soon as you start eating it, it starts melting on your tongue like butter. We ordered another set to split because the first ones were so good. And then this futomaki to try. He put a whole sushi roll into the bigger roll, something I've never seen before. This was by far the best nigiri set I've ever had in my life. Sapporo receives the second most snow of any city in the world, second only to Aomori. The street south of the wholesale market is full of seafood shops that will cook the seafood for you if you buy it. Hokkaido hairy crabs are loved particularly for their roe, but also their sweet meat. I would have loved to try this canned king crab, but $80 was just too much when there was all this live crab around. Dried scallops were also incredibly expensive all over Hokkaido, and these dried sea cucumbers cost over $2,000. We stopped at a seafood shop called Umedo for lunch. They had the nicest looking king crabs, and that was one of the main reasons why we came to Japan. We picked out a pretty large one. And you could get great pictures if you wanted them taken. They had a huge variety of different seafood, both raw and cooked. We ordered the crab half broiled and half steamed. The broiled was good, but the char kinda took away from the pure crab flavor. This was the sweetest and most flavorful crab meat I've ever had. Pure sweet and briny crab flavor and in larger pieces than I've ever had before. Just look at the size of these pieces. This was the most luxurious crab experience of my life. I also had to order an uni and ikura bowl since I was in Hokkaido. Everything was so fresh. The uni was sweet, creamy, and rich, and the ikura was briny and slightly sweet. It was also a lot less salty than I'm used to it being. Both matched perfectly with the rice. The seafood bowl was as perfect as it could possibly be. Scallops in butter and soy sauce are so popular here that they even have a Pringles flavor. Sapporo is also famous for its melons, specifically ones called Yubari melons, which are cantaloupe hybrids grown in Yubari, a small town near Sapporo. Some of these melons cost around $150. There are lots of different snacks based around their flavor as well. Japanese strawberries are said to be some of the best in the world. I was very interested in trying the white ones. The melons here are absolutely incredible, the most flavorful and juice-packed fruit I've ever had in my life. Every melon I eat in the future will be less enjoyable because of this. Same thing goes for the strawberries. These are better than any strawberry candy or dessert I've ever had. The white strawberries received mixed reviews. They had a different flavor, it was kind of musky. They were definitely less fruity and juicy, but they were also sweeter. I thought they were delicious, but nearly everyone preferred the red ones. We had a light dinner of smoked mackerel from the market, as well as a whole bunch of different side dishes and rice. Then we went back out to see the Snow Festival at night. The international teams were finishing up their snow sculptures. The Snow Festival is a lot more beautiful at night in my opinion. If you come here, I'm going to recommend coming during the middle or end of the Snow Festival. We came at the beginning and didn't quite get to see all the sculptures finished. Queen was also going to be playing a free concert on the final day. There was a whole anime being projected onto this snow house. This show was a great way to end one of the most incredible and delicious weeks of my life. I hope you enjoyed this video in Sapporo. Please like and subscribe if you did. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to visit Sapporo or anything you think I should visit in Japan. I'm traveling to Otaru next, and I hope you will follow along my food trip all across Japan. Thank you for watching.